Hey, it's Scotch Test Dummies. I'm Scott.
Bart.
We got us a new Dickel.
It's a new Dickel.
Go ahead and look at it, Bart. You can
look at it.
announce what the label is.
Dickel Bourbon Whiskey with no E. We know they do that. 8 years old. We're going to test it.
Dickel Bourbon style.
Oh.
I told you not to look at the label, not to spoil it. What's different?
It's gold.
Well, no.
8 years. I didn't read a whole lot. Cascade Hollow Distillery, our finest bourbon. Handcrafted small
What?
batch.
It's what?
Handcrafted.
No, before that 8-year-old what?
Aged 8-year bourbon. Dickel bourbon instead of rye.
No. Dickel Tennessee Whiskey. This is a bourbon from Dickel.
Got it. Well,
I thought you
Dickel
would
says
catch it.
Tennessee whiskey, but we always they're saying bourbon. But we always say that even when they do their Tennessee whiskey, it still would be able to be classified as bourbon because it's 51% corn. It's aged at least 2 years if they're saying straight.
Yeah.
Could be a year and a half.
But Tennessee whiskey will go through a maple charcoal filtering.
Which
This probably hasn't been through.
hasn't done that.
This is their
Which
bourbon
is
up to that point.
The Lincoln County method.
There you go. So yeah, I think it's the first time they've bottled a bourbon.
Got it. Bourbon bottle.
And it's 8 years old, not number 8
I
or
like
number
that.
12.
Right.
It's 8 years old.
Yes. Yeah.
So
And it looks fancy. It's a real shiny label.
what's our ABV? 45%, a little bit higher
Also
on the
good.
ABV.
Whoops. I had the lone soldier was aimed toward the camera. My fault.
We did just crack this a little bit ago and poured it, let it get some air. We haven't nosed. Wow.
Yeah. Comes off with I get a lot of dusty corn.
Why did I get maple charcoal, though?
Oh. I get a lot of dusty, dry corn
Maybe it was just mental.
and like a furniture polish with a sweetness underneath.
My nose is kind of plugged up today.
Huh.
A little bit of oak, a little bit of cinnamon.
Yeah. All that.
I like the dusty. I like the corn. All good. Makes my eyes water a little bit blowing out of there for 45%.
Interesting. I get a little floral open. I get a caramel hard candied finish, but with something else. I'm gonna have to puzzle out.
It was a real good coating on the first sip. That's probably the 8 years old. We've had a lot of bourbons lately that have just been kind of mild on the open to me. Kind of average palate.
Right.
First sip on that, that's above average. There's a lot more going on there. Like I say, probably due to the 8 years of age. Let's see, though. That was the first sip of the bourbon. Let me get a little bit more.
I still get a touch of the floral, which I usually get in a wheated bourbon, like from Four Roses or something. It's still a little bit dry and astringent on the finish with a sweet character. I still would describe like a dusty old oak barn floor. Then it figures out, it finished out with a little buttered popcorn at the end there.
Oaky, dusty, butterscotchery.
That's a legal word.
Cinnamon, vanillas are great. Natural, bourbon notes in there. Nice depth, though, to it. Nice. It's nice and rounded. Not necessarily any one thing is really jumping out, standing out. It's just a nice marriage of all the notes in there.
It's got nice legs in the glass. And you're right, the velvety mouthfeel lingers. It gives me that velvety coating in the mouthfeel. The like 30-second finish is where I get that buttered sweet popcorn, which I really like. It's one of the favorite things I like in a bourbon, and you don't always get it. That's really good. I really like the extended finish here.
It surprises me.
Yeah, this is This even just remind me of Halloween. You'll get those little popcorn balls that are kind of a sweet, almost like a kettle corn, is what I'm getting in the finish there.
I was still getting a little bit of charcoal, and I was wondering if it was charcoal mellowed, not maple charcoal filtered, but charcoal mellowed.
That's always confusing me. We had that discussion once.
It does say charcoal chill filtered. So I would guess a charcoal mellowing, not maple charcoal, but probably a charcoal filter after it's aged. They'll run through it to
That's
mellow
what we were
it,
talking
smooth
about
it
before.
out.
Like a normal Lincoln County method is right after it's distilled, they run it through the maple charcoal, then bottle it. You're saying this might be
casket.
Right. Then casket.
Yeah.
Right. You're saying this might be after it's cast.
After it's
they're
aged.
running it through.
After it's aged, it's charcoal mellowed. It doesn't say charcoal mellowed. It says charcoal chill filtered. So yeah, that would be my guess.
That is interesting.
Without doing the research.
I still love the finish here. I love that it's still slightly there even long after a minute, but right about 30 seconds, I get that sweet kettle corn flavor. And it totally took me to the Halloween popcorn balls with whatever they do with those.
It is distilled and produced by Cascade Hollow Distilling in Tullahoma, Tennessee. Now, Dickel does source their rye, or they did have in the past. I believe they still do, from Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
But this is distilled and bottled in Tennessee.
I love their rye.
They've just foregone the Tennessee whiskey and bottled a bourbon.
Yeah.
I like it. Impressed with it.
It's very tasty.
Exceeded expectations.
Yeah, it's very, very tasty. Yeah, this would be a long-term sipper because in between sips, this is the one where my wife will go, you haven't sipped that in like 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm still getting flavor. Still getting it. Yeah, that is nice. Now I'm gonna, I guess I'll wait. And 88. 88 is what I got on this. I'm curious. 89.
Yeah.
We're close.
Yeah.
I like it.
Rather, I think if it had a little bit more depth to it, a little bit more age, it might hit the 90 mark. But it's right there. I am becoming a tougher grader, though, now. I'm starting at 80 instead of 85. But this one's still good.
Right. Meaning 80 is where your average drink would be.
This bottle started at an 80. It was an 80 before I opened it.
Just looking at it.
Yeah, just looking at it on the shelf, it was an 80.
Right.
And then it either goes up or goes down from there.
I'm digging that 80.
Yeah.
I think I might be a convert to your 80. I didn't like your 85.
85 was a little high.
But your 80, I'm agreeing.
We've had some average bourbons here that have gotten, I think the 83 to 85 mark from me, which would be low on the old scale, but on the new scales,
now,
slightly.
Please do comment what you think. We had one commenter saying that 80 is way too high. If he's got an average, it's 50. But I commented and said, if you score a 50 on a college exam, that's a hard fail. Right? If you get an 80 on a college exam, that's a low B. That's a bottom B.
That's average passing
You're
score.
there. But whereas a 50, you might as well quit. You should just drop out of school, go be a barista. No offense to baristas out there. We like you.
I think you have to look at, our scores or how we talk about a bottle or where it falls compared to other reviewers. If we're really raving about a bottle, usually other reviewers are as well. Maybe our score is just a little bit higher for that bottle.
I like when you and I sync on something because we have slightly different palates. Okay, like whiskey or Scotch wise, I lean peat, you lean sherry. Yeah. But when we both go crazy over something, that to me is like everybody's probably going to like that.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Otherwise, I always say, what do our scores really mean? I don't think, I'm with you. I don't think they mean, the numbers mean almost nothing. Our descriptions are probably worth more.
Yeah. But then you just have to look at the scale overall or the numbers overall. Like this bottle did score better than this bottle. It's a better bottle, whatever.
Sure.
$40.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good at 40.
Now, this was bought in Colorado. I was recently out there, went out to Marble for the weekend, stopped in the liquor store, and surprised to see this one on the shelf for $39.99. We'll round that up to $40.
I think that's a safe round.
I think it's well worth it. If you see it, pick it up and try it.
That's good.
I like
you
it.
didn't drink a lot of it out in Colorado either.
I didn't even open it.
Oh,
Just
you
opened
didn't
it
even
now.
open it in California.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
Colorado, not California.
I said Colorado.
Did you? I thought you said California.
I think I said Colorado, but I don't know. There is a Marble, California, I think.
Oh.
Maybe I messed up again. You have to see it in post. I'll
Maybe
see
I
it
messed
later. Who knows?
I don't listen. I got this checked out. No, wait, we got a Patreon shout out
Ooh,
before you close
I was
out.
about ready to yell Scotch It, you Scotch guys. Good check. We got a Patreon. So again, if you want to support the show, you like the show, we use Patreon funds to actually buy the bottles. Now, occasionally we'll get some sent to us and we review those as well. But if you like what we're doing, you enjoy our banter, go to Patreon, look up Scotch Test Dummies, and you can support for it. You can cap it at $1 a month. That's nice. You can do $1 per show, and you can cap it wherever you want in between there. You can do 2, 3, or you can make up your own amount. We love it all. Who do we got? This is
This is Hoyt.
Hoyt. Now, if it's a $2 or up, we shout your name with gusto. But what's Hoyt back and forth?
Hoyt came in at $1 a show.
$1 show.
Thank
Still
you.
good.
Now, Hoyt was here for our 5-year
Hemp
anniversary.
Hill. Yeah, Hemp Hill. I like to call
3
him
years
Hemp.
ago.
I like to call him Hemp. It's been 3 years.
Yeah, we're coming up on our 8th
It's like
anniversary.
a sturdy rope.
October, this will date the show, but October 23rd, we are bringing back the 12 Hours of Boom.
Yes.
We missed it last year.
Right. Well, 2020 was going on, and this October will mark 8 years of us doing the show.
Yep.
8 years.
We were doing the 12 Hours of Boom in July. That was just when we started.
Dumb. Yeah, that's
No,
dumb.
it wasn't dumb.
That's hot.
It was hot.
It's like it can get up to 120 in July.
And we would have a campfire at night.
We would have a
It'd be 90.
campfire. Yeah, and we'd be like, it's a little dumb.
So we decided let's move it to now. Last year, because of COVID, because of protests and stuff across the nation, we didn't do 12 Hours of Boom last year. We're bringing it back this year. We moved it to October to kind of sync up with our show anniversary as well.
And it's cooler.
Which started October of 2013, 8 years ago.
Yeah. It's like the 13th or something, if I remember right, wasn't it? Something like that.
No, it's 20-something.
Okay,
I think.
20-something. Maybe it was a 20. We're right in there. All right, Scotch It, right?
Go to ScotchTestDummies.com. You
Yep.
can buy glasses, coins, hats, shirts, all kinds of stuff, dropper sets. You can help
With
support the show
burn
there.
stuff on it.
It keeps the whiskey flowing and the lights on.
Scotch It, you Scotch guys.
Sláinte. Dummies. But I don't ever go like that either. I'll usually just kind of get them and just lightly click.
So you don't do any kind of
There's
exaggerated.
no exaggerated tapping.
You're never tapping exaggeratedly.
Push it.
Yeah. I pushed it. Well, you did,
Oh.
but it didn't do anything it's supposed to do.